I'm Liz from the Quick Journey blog, where I share little bits of homemaking inspiration. Today, I am going to be walking you through a few aspects of my kitchen area that appear to be quite perfect whenever you look at pictures on Instagram and on the blog, but in all reality are imperfect. Yet when you are in a working kitchen and you are feeding 6 people and cooking from scratch almost all of the time, you just have to kind of move over those imperfect aspects, love the kitchen you have, and just use it the way it's supposed to be used, which is to make delicious meals for your family. Before we get started, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and comment below what you loved about this video, if you have parts of your home that are imperfect but you are embracing anyway, or if there's something that you would like to see on the Quick Journey YouTube channel later on. Doing these things just is a simple way for us to show YouTube, to show more people my channel, and to help me grow my little space here on YouTube. So thank you so much if you did any of those things. I so appreciate it. Now let's chat about a few things in my kitchen area that seem to be quite perfect, but I've had to, in one way or another, kind of get over them and move on because they are perfectly fine, even though it's not magazine worthy. We are going on 5 years in this home, and one of the first things I said I wanted to change was the backsplash in our kitchen whenever we walked through the house. I loved this house so much. It felt like home, it felt sturdy and like it was built well. I love the natural light that we had and the beautiful big windows. So I was sold on the home, I just was not sold on the tile. This house was built about 20 years ago, and it really needed a little bit of a facelift in certain areas to help it feel more like my taste. And one of those areas was a backsplash in the kitchen. I shared a whole video on our little small, it wasn't a huge renovation, or so I thought, but I didn't realize how hard it was to pull down tile that had been glued to the wall. So there's that. I learned something new. But we shared the whole process. I will tag that video up above so that you guys can see the kitchen renovation. And as with most renovations, you get 90% done, and that last 10% is just a struggle. And that's kind of where we were at. We finished most of it, and the last 10% was just so hard, and some of it hasn't even gotten done. So I'm gonna walk you through a few things that I wish were different in our kitchen, and they're not, and it's totally fine. We're just gonna move forward with it. One of those is the line at the bottom of my vertical shiplap that has not been caulked. That was the whole plan, was for us to caulk it, and those little things just get away when you have a family and it's a working kitchen and you just are needing to use it. Sometimes those little things just don't ever get done, and for now it still hasn't gotten done. So that is one area that you really don't see on pictures or in videos that are zoomed out, but that when you're in the kitchen, you definitely notice that there is a gap at the bottom of the shiplap. Another thing that you will never notice in any of the videos or any of the pictures on the blog are that my cabinets are in dire need of being replaced. I don't know if it's because of water or if it was a heat issue, or if it's just that they're older and not super high quality cabinets, but they are starting to warp and bubble and peel, and you don't see it in pictures, but it is very, very obvious when you are actually in this kitchen that the cabinets have seen better days, and I really look forward to the day when we will be replacing it. I doubt that day is coming anytime soon, but I'm still dreaming about what I want whenever it does finally arrive. So that's one of those areas that just, it's not very photo worthy, but it's just the way it is, and the cabinets still function perfectly fine. It's just that they're a little bit of an eyesore. Another area of the kitchen that looks great on photos, but in real life it is just not a pretty scene, is our kitchen table. Now this would be an easy fix. We found it at an antique store. It looked wonderful and I really liked it. It could easily be redone, which I do plan on doing and hopefully sharing on the YouTube channel here maybe this summer. I saw a video by Andrea of Pine and Prospect where she stripped a piece of furniture using oven cleaner, Whenever the weather warms up and is a bit more consistent, I fully intend on doing that with this antique table because I think it will look beautiful if I could just get the nasty finish off of it. It kind of comes off whenever it gets wet, it's been scuffed up, it just wasn't done very well, and it really is an eyesore, but it's one of those things that I'm not really gonna replace it. So maybe I'll just try and strip it and start from square one and see if I can make it more beautiful that way. While this next one is not technically the kitchen, it is in the kitchen area. It's called the keeping room. I wrote a whole blog post on what is a keeping room because it was not something I knew about until we moved into this house, and I had to research what is this extra space off of the kitchen that has no defined perimeter. It is indeed called a keeping room, and once I learned what it was, I loved it so much more. It gave me a vision for what I wanted to do with the space, and it's just such a sweet area, and it looks great in pictures until you actually come into my home and you see that the person who lived here before painted the outside of the mantle, but not the back side of the mantle, not the underside of the mantle. So you have this orangey wood under the mantle and on the back side of the mantle. So when you come from the living room, you can see it. But the rest of the mantle is white. So I don't know, it's something I haven't changed. It's something where I'm like, I don't even know if I love the mantle. Should I even paint the mantle? Maybe I just want to replace the mantle and make it have something that is a little more, I don't know, charming. But for now, I'm just dealing with the fact that it is a half painted mantle. It is imperfect, but it's obviously not so imperfect that I am willing to take the time to paint the whole thing. So there's that. Another thing about my kitchen area, and actually it's the entire house, that is really an eyesore, are all of the old, dingy, half-working blinds that we have in our house. This is a small detail, but anybody who has really yucky blinds in their house knows that it can make a room that's clean and pulled together instantly feel kind of dumpy. So anyway, those are things that I would love to change. I would love to change out all of our blinds for something simple. I don't want anything extravagant, but something simple that doesn't have a bunch of cords, that doesn't have strings that are broken everywhere, and that whenever they are lifted, they're all the way to the wood trim on the window and not hanging down. So someday, I mean, we've talked about it multiple times, replacing all the blinds, and then we go to purchase the blinds, and it's so expensive to get really high quality blinds that are gonna last you. So we just end up waiting, and here we are still with really, really, really old blinds. I'm pretty sure they're original to the house, which would make them almost 20 years old. I don't even know. Can they even last that long? I'm not sure. But they are just so yucky, and they really need to be replaced, and we just have not done it yet. So maybe this summer will be the time when we finally replace the blinds. As I mentioned before, we completely redid the upper portion of some of our kitchen. We replaced all of the tile with vertical shiplap backsplash. We took some cabinets down, put up some open shelving, which I love so much. And one thing that we noticed is that the top of the cabinets were glued to the ceiling, the cabinets we took down. And so you still see that. We have not repainted the ceiling. We have not messed with the line from the glue. I probably need to at least try to do a magic eraser and scrub that off. So that's something you can't really see in pictures, but when you come into my home, you can definitely see that there is an outline from the cabinetry that was there before on the ceiling. So I probably need to kind of get started on that. So those are just a few of the areas in our kitchen area that seem to be perfect online, but are quite imperfect yet fully workable in real life. There are plenty more that I could show you, like trim that really needs a facelift, or light fixtures that we have never changed, or a ceiling fan that had the toilet above it leak through and now it's rusted all over and really needs to come down and be replaced, yet we still have not done that. So there are far more things I could mention, but those are a few of the main things. Also, the can lighting in our kitchen, oftentimes in pictures I will edit them out so you don't even notice that they're there. But they are off-white, even yellow, beigey, and just not very pretty. But again, this is a working kitchen. I need to have lighting, and they're fully functional. So we just leave them and deal with it, and it's totally fine. Maybe someday we will replace them for a white can light that will actually kind of be hidden in the ceiling. Anyway, but for now, they're yellow, and it's fine. I hope that you enjoyed this realistic tour of my kitchen. Every room in our home has areas like this. I hope this showed you that what you see online, although it's beautiful, and it really is beautiful in person as well, it leaves out the imperfections that are there. We all have those places in our homes, or those things that we wish that we could change, and whether it be a time constraint or a money constraint or some supply constraint, we can't do all the things. And so just to be thankful for the areas that are beautiful and to focus on those areas, that's what I tend to do. And I hope that this showed you guys that we all have those areas that are kind of an eyesore, but that we can get over it and move on, and it'll still be fine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have not subscribed, I would love it if you would. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.